After 65, here's how to wake up happy every morning. 7 mood-boosting rituals. Daily practices to nurture optimism and emotional balance. Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning and just felt heavy? Not physically, necessarily, but emotionally. Maybe you wake up and instead of feeling refreshed or ready, you feel that quiet tug of sadness or even a dull emptiness that's hard to explain. You're not alone. A lot of us over 65 experience mornings like that. And it's not always because of some big, dramatic reason. Sometimes it's simply the weight of years, of losses, of changes, of a slower pace of life. The world gets quieter. The phone rings less. And even though we're supposed to be enjoying our golden years, some mornings it doesn't feel so golden at all. But here's the truth I want to share with you today. Happiness in the morning isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we can cultivate, gently, intentionally, and in ways that honor who we are now. In this video, we're going to explore 7 simple rituals that can help you wake up feeling lighter, more grounded, and ready to greet the day with peace and purpose. These aren't just routines, they're small acts of kindness you can give yourself every morning. And they can make a world of difference. Let's start with something very simple, but incredibly powerful. How you greet the first few minutes of your day. Think about this. What's the very first thing you do when you open your eyes? Do you reach for your phone? Do you sigh and think about what hurts today? Do you replay something you regret or start worrying about your adult children or the bills? Your first thoughts in the morning set the tone for the hours that follow. They're like the first few brushstrokes on a blank canvas. So instead of letting your thoughts spiral automatically, imagine waking up and beginning your day with a quiet smile. Not forced, just soft and gentle. Just enough to say, I'm still here. I'm still me. And this day is a gift. Try this. Before you even get out of bed, take a few deep breaths. Slow and intentional. And with each breath, say something kind to yourself in your mind. It could be something as simple as today is a fresh start, or I'm grateful for this quiet moment. It might feel silly at first, but trust me, your brain hears you. And your heart does too. Once you're up, here's another ritual that can instantly shift your mood. Let light in. Open your blinds. Step outside, even if it's just onto the porch. Feel the air. Let the morning sun touch your face, even for a minute or two. Natural light does wonders for your mood. It wakes up your internal clock, tells your body it's time to be alert, and helps regulate your energy throughout the day. But more than that, it reminds you that the world is still turning, that beauty still exists right outside your window, and that you are still a part of it. One woman I spoke with, she's 72, told me she calls her morning porch time her soul stretch. She doesn't check the news. She doesn't rush to make coffee. She just sits, listens to the birds, and says hello to the day. No pressure. Just presence. And she says it's changed how she feels for the rest of the day. Another simple way to start your morning on a high note is to move your body, gently, kindly, with love. Now, this doesn't mean doing jumping jacks or squats unless you want to. It could be something as easy as stretching your arms toward the ceiling and rolling your shoulders a few times. Or walking slowly from one end of your home to the other, focusing on your breath as you move. Movement, even small movement, gets your blood flowing. It tells your brain, we're alive. We're here. Let's go. And that little burst of circulation can actually lift your mood in a matter of minutes. I met a gentleman in his late 60s who does a wake-up walk around his kitchen every morning. He just walks in circles for 5 minutes while his teeth bruise. It's his way of shaking off the stiffness of sleep and saying hello to his body. He swears it puts him in a better mood before breakfast even starts. And speaking of breakfast, that's another chance to do something kind for yourself. Not just feeding your body, but choosing to nourish your spirit too. Now, we'll go deeper into that a bit later, but for now, I want you to reflect on this one question. What would happen if I treated my mornings like sacred time, instead of something to rush through or survive? Even if the rest of the day feels uncertain, even if your calendar is empty, or you're living alone, or you're grieving something old or something recent, your morning is yours. You can shape it. You can anchor yourself in a small ritual that brings you back to you. A slow breath, a gentle stretch, a step into the morning sun, a soft word spoken to yourself. These might seem small, but they are powerful acts of self-respect. And they're how joy begins, not as a burst of emotion, but as a quiet decision. Let's keep this energy going. We've started with a heart and body, Next, we'll shift into rituals that nourish the soul and bring deeper emotional balance. Now that we've begun tuning into our mornings with intention, with breath, with light, with gentle movement, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked as we age: the emotional tone we choose to carry into the day. It's easy to forget that we do have a choice, especially when the world around us feels like it's moving faster, when friends move away, when family gets busy, or when health challenges come knocking. But your emotional tone, your inner setting, can still be yours to guide. And one beautiful way to guide it is through the quiet power of gratitude. Not the kind that's forced or fake, like saying, "I should be thankful," when you really don't feel it. No, I mean the kind that comes from gently pausing and noticing one simple thing that brings you comfort or joy. Maybe it's the smell of your morning tea, the way the sunlight lands on your table, the sound of a wind chime, a memory that still warms your heart. Here's something you can try. Keep a small notepad or journal by your breakfast chair. And every morning, just write down one thing you're thankful for. Just one. It doesn't have to be big. You don't even need to write full sentences. Just a word or two is enough. Warm blanket. Quiet morning. Card from Susan. You're not writing for anyone else. You're just reminding yourself that good things still exist, even in the smallest moments. It's incredible what this simple habit does over time. It starts to shift the lens you see the world through. It trains your brain, gently, kindly, to look for light. And on days when you feel low, you can flip back through those pages and remember, joy has been here before, and it will come again. Next, let's talk about the stories we tell ourselves. Yes, the ones that start playing in our minds as soon as we wake up. "I'm getting too old for this. Nobody needs me anymore. There's nothing to look forward to." These thoughts can become background noise we don't even realize we're listening to, but they shape our day more than we know. Now, I'm not suggesting we pretend everything's perfect. Life has its hard edges, especially after 65. But what we can do is catch those old, painful stories and gently challenge them. Replace them with something that feels true and empowering. For example, instead of "nobody needs me anymore," what if you told yourself, "I still have wisdom to share. I still matter." Or instead of "I'm too old to start something new," you could say, "I get to try things now without the pressure of proving anything." These little shifts aren't about denying reality. They're about reclaiming your inner narrative, one thought at a time. Because the words we whisper to ourselves every morning become the soil where our feelings grow. There's a woman I know, she's 69, who starts each morning by standing in front of her mirror, looking herself in the eye, and saying 3 words: "I choose joy." That's it. I choose joy. Some mornings she feels it deeply. Other mornings she's just planting the seed. But she does it anyway. And she told me, "Even when I don't believe it yet, saying it reminds me I can." And you can too. Another powerful way to shift into a happier morning is to create a moment of connection, even if you live alone. Human beings are wired for connection, and that doesn't have to mean long conversations or big social outings. Sometimes it just means reaching out. A quick message, a photo shared, a short voice memo saying, "Thinking of you." Don't underestimate the power of small connections. They don't just lift others, they lift you. One man I spoke to in his 70s sent a funny good morning meme to his daughter every day. Nothing serious, just a little smile between them. And he said it helps him feel part of her day, even from miles away. And if you don't have someone to reach out to every day, that's okay too. You can still feel connected by tuning into something greater. Whether it's listening to music that stirs your spirit, reading something that inspires you, or even just sitting quietly with your hand on your heart and remembering, you are part of this big, beautiful, complex world. Which brings us to a gentle but important practice: acceptance. Some mornings, even with the best intentions, we don't feel great. Maybe there's pain. Maybe there's sadness that lingers from the past. That's okay. Waking up happy doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel cheerful all the time. It means making space for whatever comes and choosing to meet it with kindness. You can say to yourself, "This is a hard morning, and I'm allowed to feel that. But I'm also allowed to find one soft spot in the day." That soft spot might be your favorite chair, a warm bath, a walk through the garden, or just the act of letting yourself rest without guilt. Because part of happiness, real deep happiness, is learning how to hold both, the ache and the joy, the sorrow and the sweetness. And mornings are a perfect place to practice that gentle balance. Now we've touched on the power of breath, movement, light, gratitude, connection, and mindset. Each of these is a thread in the beautiful fabric of your morning. But there's still more we can weave in, one more ritual that can truly anchor your joy. Let's keep this flow going and bring it all together in a way that feels grounded and uplifting. And now let's bring it all together with one final morning ritual that may seem simple on the outside, but has a quiet, transformative power when practiced regularly. That ritual is having something to look forward to every single day. It doesn't need to be a big event, a trip, or anything that takes a lot of planning. In fact, the most powerful things are often the tiniest joys, like setting aside time to read a favorite book, tending to your flowers, enjoying your morning coffee with extra care, or calling someone who makes you laugh. You see, one of the secrets to waking up happy isn't about fixing all your problems or making every day perfect. It's about giving yourself something to smile about before the day even begins. When you wake up with a sense of anticipation, even just a small one, it nudges your brain away from dread and toward delight. And here's something to try. The night before, take just 1 minute to think about your next morning. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can look forward to tomorrow? Maybe it's a walk in the fresh air. Or maybe it's lighting your favorite candle while you write a few thoughts in your journal. It doesn't have to impress anyone. It only needs to matter to you. One woman I spoke with shared that every morning she puts on a favorite piece of jewelry, even if she's not going anywhere. It makes me feel like me, she said. It reminds me I'm still here, still worth showing up for. That's the kind of joy we're talking about. The kind that starts from within. And as you begin layering these small morning rituals, breath, light, gratitude, kindness, connection, intention, you'll notice something beautiful starts to happen. Your mornings begin to feel yours again. Not something you dread, not something you just get through, but something that holds the promise of peace, purpose, even playfulness. You might find yourself smiling before you even get out of bed. You might feel more patient with yourself on the tough days. You might notice that you're not waiting for someone else to make you happy. You're growing that happiness from the inside, like a garden you tend to with care. And here's something important to remember. There is no perfect morning. Some days, the light feels heavy. The aches are louder. The worries are harder to silence. But the fact that you're still trying, that you're still reaching for joy, still choosing to care for your heart, that is powerful. That matters. You've spent decades caring for others, working hard, pushing through, and showing up. This chapter of your life, it's for you. For giving yourself what you gave so generously to everyone else, attention, tenderness, and time. So if you've ever woken up thinking, what's the point of today? This is the answer. You are the point. Your breath, your presence, your smile. You don't need to accomplish anything big to be worthy of joy. You don't need to be busy to be valuable. You only need to be, and treat each morning as the beginning of something gentle and new. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to shift your habits a little at a time. Maybe you'll start with 1 ritual this week, then 2 next week. And before you know it, your mornings will feel less like a race and more like a soft invitation to begin again, with grace and peace. And if there's one message I hope you carry with you after this video, it's this: your joy matters. Your well-being matters. No matter your age, no matter your circumstances, you are allowed to feel good when you wake up. You are allowed to shape your days with beauty and meaning. And you're never too old to learn how to care for yourself in deeper, kinder ways. So now take a moment and check in with your own heart. Ask yourself gently, what can I give myself tomorrow morning that would bring me peace? Then hold that answer like a promise. Because it is. It's a promise to start each day as a fresh opportunity. A promise to choose joy not because life is always easy, but because you're worth it. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you do in the morning that makes you feel good? Or what's one ritual you'd like to try from what we've shared today? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read your thoughts. You never know who your words might inspire. If you found this helpful or comforting, please give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more supportive, uplifting content coming your way because your well-being is always worth investing in. And until next time, here's to your mornings. May they be peaceful. May they be joyful. And may they always remind you that you're still becoming, still blooming, still beautifully alive. Here's to living your best life at any age. We'll see you soon.